GSL. 토르지, 바이올렛, 고스트, 심볼, 소시, 에이스, 크리에이터, 스나이퍼, 유기오, 킷, 해피, 시드, 령, 마루, 데스티시, 간지, 큐리어스, 네스티, 리너, 나니와, 마린킹, 대자, MC, 오즈, 슈퍼노바, 구미호, 효로, 파팅, 스쿼트, 지니어스, 동래구, MVP.
What a sick lineup of players we just saw. Welcome to the GSL Code S. I am Wolf, today alone because all of my co-casters, all of the GSL casters are traveling right now. And 1 year ago, I actually sat in this very same seat alone casting the GSL Super Tournament, and I'm back. Glad to be here. Thank you guys for, giving me the patience to listen to me talk and lose my sanity throughout this entire cast, but it's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. We have a new sponsor. It is Monsieur J, or however you pronounce it. I'm not 100% sure it's how it's pronounced, but it is a Korean company that basically gives facial creams, kind of makeup sort of things for men. So it's super manly, as you guys have seen on the banners. That super famous Korean celebrity, basically, he's very well known in Korea. He uses that cream, and you'll see him quite a bit throughout this season. His face will be everywhere. He'll probably even come to the finals, I would expect, so that'll be awesome to see. But today we have an awesome lineup of players. I actually spent a lot of time talking with TLO before the broadcast about what he thought about Hero's chances. Hero, I'd say, based on the tweets I got, based on the pages I saw on Team Liquid as well as on Reddit, it seems like Hero is by far the fan favorite. But, for example, Byun is definitely, I think, the favorite to get out of this group. A very strong Terran player. He's been solid throughout the last few months. Every time I've seen him play, he looks amazing. I think this guy can actually go extremely far in Code S, but he has to get out of this group first. Consider also Curious, the really strong Stone Cold Killer, a super difficult player to play against. He removes his emotions from the game when he's playing, very much so. Basically, when he sits in that booth, he actually concentrates only on the game. It's a very difficult opponent to play against. For example, Hero told TLO that he's really struggling versus Zerg these days, so this is going to be something that's a little bit difficult for him. Now here is a look at our schedule. You can see basically how things are going to go down all the way until the end of July. You can see the GSTL is going to be on the weekends as usual, every Friday and Saturday, and Code S and Code A will be during the week as usual. You guys can see exactly how that stacks out. Our GSTL semifinals will be on the 20th and 21st of July. The Code S semifinal will be on the 19th of July, and then of course later on we will have our finals. They are not listed, of course, just yet because they will be later on, but you can basically see where the semifinals are coming out. And you can see the GSTL A and B finals will be on the 13th and 14th, so you can see who ends up getting out of the groups in that final match to go to the semifinals. You can look up the format if you're a little bit confused on how that works, but basically the most important thing to note here is Code S and Code A during the week, GSTL during the weekend. So it's going to be awesome. You can see the GSTL nomination for B1 will be on my birthday on June 22nd. So I think I pretty much listed everything that you guys need to know on that chart. Now there is the very man I was talking about earlier. And he is, I got to get some of that facial cream actually because I want to look like him. He's got, I don't know if the cream actually gives him that attractive mustache or not, but look at those products. I got to get my hands on those. I bet I can for free because I work at GOMTV and they're our main sponsor for this season. So, face and shave foam, daily moisture, fresh lotion. Now we're going to take a look, of course, at today's matches First up, it is going to be Hero against Byun. Well, let's just look at all of our players, in fact. Liquid Hero, Ghost King Prime, Seed, I didn't even talk about him just yet. And of course, last but not least, Curious. Here is Hero's statistics. Oh, I love this screen. His rank for Protoss is, he's the 4th best Protoss as far as GSL points goes. Now here is Byun, aka Ghost King. He's the 23rd best Terran. Has not shown his face that much in the GSL since he basically had that cheating scandal. And here is Seed, top 10 Protoss, 10 and 9. Got through to Code S in the up and down matches. And last but not least, Curious, also getting into the up and down matches, ranked 3rd as a Zerg player and 18th overall with a 30 and 17 win ratio. Curious, a very strong Zerg. I would not want to have to play against him. Now our first and opening map for this PvT, which is going to be between Hero and Ghost King, will be in fact on Daybreak, my favorite map in the entire map pool. Here are our 2 players. Now, this match, I feel, is going to be a big... I think it's going to be more important for Hero because Byun, I think, knows his place in this group. He's confident. He knows how good he is. Hero, he made it all the way to the round of 4 last season, but at the same time, based on how I talked to TLO, who's actually here in the studio right now, he has been practicing like crazy. He has been practicing so much that TLO fears that he hasn't even been taken care of, eating, for example, as much as he should be because he's been training so hard. He doesn't feel confident as much as Byun does, I strongly feel. And so this is going to be such an important opening match for him. If he loses here, it's going to be hard for him to come back. The countdown has started. We are going to jump into Daybreak right now. This is the GSL Code S, brought to you by GOMTV, Monsieur J, and Wolf.
Stopping, speed ahead.
Up here at the top right, our Protoss player from the Team Liquid, a fan favorite, he is
Liquid Hero.
There he is. Former OGS player joining Team Liquid after the partnership. His old team has disbanded. But ever since joining Liquid, he's made a lot of fans. He's made a big splash. One of the best Protosses in the world. His opponent, down here at the bottom left, a Terran player formerly known as Byun, joined the Team Prime. He is
Ghost King Prime.
Ghost King Prime. Trying to trap the probe, in fact, does fail. Probe will escape and sees that he is going for a gas. It's very unfortunate the probe does see this for Byun because now, at this point, any build that he wants to do that he may have wanted to keep hidden by making an earlier depot is going to, it's not going to be hidden. And as a result, Hero will not go for a Nexus first. He's in fact getting a gateway and a gas in the normal timing. And he's going to be wanting to find out as soon as possible what sort of gas build this is going to be. I don't think we're going to see an older build like a 2-Rax. I think we are going to see one of these very contemporary Banshee Marine tank type of openings. Sometimes we've seen recently players go up to 4 siege tanks as they expand, just continue to use the siege tanks to hold ground against timing pushes, stop siege tank production, and then go straight into bio. Now back at the home of Hero, the question is, will he just still go for a 1 gateway expand and then drop a Robo before adding his 2 gateways? Will he go gateways before Robo even though his opponent has gone gas? He's still managed to keep this probe alive in the main base, but that will no longer be the case as the Marine finally takes him out. Now this is the point where the factory will be started. Now it's being placed actually at the front, a position it can be scouted at. And he may, in fact, show the add-on. At this point, the SCV will be chased, but it won't be killed. There's no Stalker available. Probe continues to check around for proxies. Whenever there is a gas on the field, gotta check for proxies. Could be a proxy Stargate, or a starport rather. Could be a proxy second barracks. Anything is possible when there is a gas, and this is exactly why Hero is sending that probe around the entire map. Second gas now going down for Byun. And a reactor still going down his barracks. This could mean several things. He could be going for reactor Hellions, could do a Hellion Marauder push, which is really an up-and-coming build. It's also potentially just going to be 4 Marines. He may just go into Marine Tank Banshee. With the timing of this, though, it does indicate some sort of Hellion play. The probe will continue to go forward to scout. He's going to try to push his way past these 2 Marines to the front of the base. Without Stalker support, though, I don't believe he'll be able to actually see that reactor. But as I was saying, it is double reactor Hellion. Starport is going down now behind the barracks, and we may just see a fast Hellion drop with Marauders coming in the front and rallied Hellions to put more pressure on. We do see that Hero is going Robo before adding the additional gateways. And he will, in fact, add a second gateway, going for the old school gate Robo gate build. Probe will be taken out. No scouting information until he gets that observer out. A very delayed Nexus here from Hero, but that's going to be fine against what he's up against, because obviously we have a late command center coming out. Now, Byun has actually started a medevac here, but he's put the tech lab on the starport. And the only amount of Hellions he's made is just 4. So it looks like he's going to do a 4 Hellion drop and then transition into Tank Marine Banshee, because he switched his reactor back to his barracks. The question is, will he make the tech lab on the factory continue with this? Cloak is being researched while he has that first medevac on the way, so he is definitely going to be committing to Cloak. The Hellions have been spotted. This poor Zealot on hold position has no answer for that. And the Hellions will not be able to kill the Nexus. There is now Warp Gate research finished. The one Stalker with these sentries will be able to push these Hellions back eventually, but he will scout the Nexus, and when the medevac arrives, he will be able to drop into the main base. The Observer will actually just barely miss the dropship. This is very important because he's not going to know this drop is coming. Even so, he's sending a second Observer to the north left of his base. Northwest, I should say, to not combine 2 different direction systems. So he will see this drop. Absolutely, and he's even moving sentries already up into the top left to prepare for this. And here come the Hellions. He actually does not have his units completely in position. These Stalker Orphans are actually in a good location. Will the force fields be true? It looks like they will, in fact, not. And these probes are in a lot of trouble. Does actually kill just a few of them. In total, 7 workers killed here. That's a pretty good trade. The worker count now 30 to 27. However, the second Nexus is complete. The problem for Hero, though, is the follow-up. Ghost King now producing siege tanks. He has a command center on the way. And remember, during all of this, he did not cancel Cloak. So he has a Cloak Banshee now going into his base. However, Hero, after seeing this with that Observer that was just killed, does know that the Cloak Banshee is en route. Already has his Observer in position with Stalkers, has a second Observer at his natural with Stalkers. This pressure with the Cloak is not going to be a problem for him, not even a little bit. He will shut this Banshee down like no tomorrow. Here it comes, and he sees it, and he's chasing it away. Meanwhile, though, the push out with 1 siege tank, 8 Marines, and a medevac is going to be something he still has to worry about. If he pulls all of his forces down to defend that, he will also have to defend against the Banshee. Now, a Stargate has been started for Hero. This is going to be one way he can really chase these Banshees away and make sure they're no longer a threat for him while he deals with the pushes at the front. It may seem like a really big commitment just to deal with the Banshees, but in reality, your opponent's already spent 200 gas on the Cloak, at least 100 gas on the Banshee, and potentially more. So the Stargate actually is a good solution here. He knows because of the Hellions, the Marine production is limited. He does not need Colossi to hold this. Now here comes the Banshee into the natural. Will be chased away, though. Again, he has double Observers in position, so he will not fall to this. He even sees the push coming at the front with his Observer, and I think Hero is actually going to be fine here. Byun in an awkward position now. His worker count is still ahead, but he has no answer still for the fact that his opponent has a better economy. He's got better saturation. He's trying to find places to damage him with these Banshees. He does get the Banshee away. Cloak is still active. He's going to get another kill here. Banshee now with 3 kills will have to fly away. In the meantime, he's actually getting 3 more, and the main Hero has not split his units well enough and is starting to lose a few more, but this one Phoenix, the one Phoenix will actually end it all. That Banshee thinks that she can escape, but the Phoenix will chase down and kill it. Meanwhile, the army still being spotted here from Hero. Hero is actually moving out right now with a small group of units. Why? He doesn't want to fight this army straight up just yet, but he wants to force a siege up. He wants to force his opponent to be careful, buy a little bit more time. He's adding 2 additional gateways right now and a Twilight Council. Back at home for Byun, what's he been doing? He's got an engineering bay on the way, so he can start getting bio upgrades. He's adding additional barracks. He will be transitioning into that bio play. Like I said, usually go up to about 4 siege tanks. In this case, he's going to get 5. The siege tanks, even though they did not grant him the push power he wanted, are going to be great defensively against any sort of timing push Hero wants to hit with. It's going to make sentries pretty useless. These Stalkers are going to have to be careful. He does take out these last units on the Watchtower, and Ghost King actually, a little bit scared, does turn around. But I've never seen someone so aggressively bully here. A little bit of Phoenix harass from Hero. He's only made the 2. And in total did not kill any workers there. His opponent has killed in total 16 workers throughout the course of this game. But right now the worker count 45 to 51. Still in Byun's favor. Phoenix is going now into the main base. They are not around to deal with this Banshee. But again, the Observer is in play. He only has the 1 Stalker, so he will be able to target down several of these probes. He needs to warp in a few more Stalkers. This Banshee now up to 4 kills. And a few more Stalkers will be warped in. Nice control, though, by Byun. Gets out with 6 kills. A very nice trade. And Byun remains ahead in supply during this. Charge is on the way. Templar Archives has been started for Hero. A great choice on 2 base against the composition that he is facing. Not only going to be good against Storm, but he can also use that feedback ability. And he has not stopped using the 2 Phoenixes that he has made, trying to get as many kills as he can. He's forced a turret as well, and he's not making any more Phoenixes. But the threat of Phoenixes alone forces the turret. Considering getting that SCV, he's actually out of energy right now. Trying to pick off some hit points on the Banshee. Why not? This multitasking from Hero is incredible. But Byun still has the better supply and arguably the better tech right now, because Charge is just finishing. Storm is on the way, but it is not going to be out in time if Byun actually hits with this really nice timing. With Stim, +1, they're all going to hit. No combat shields, yeah, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't have Storm, and if he goes all the way, if he commits to this 100%, Storm will not be done in time. And it looks like right now he is moving out on the map. The question is, will he commit? He is going to have an upgrade advantage over Hero, who has just now started that Forge. This is a stressful moment for Hero. Remember, Byun also has a 3rd Command Center morphing into an Orbital right now in the main base. And Hero, of course, has no 3rd Nexus. It looks like Storm will finish in time. He did not attack quickly enough. +1 armor, as well as combat shields on the way for Byun here, as he moves out around the south side. Hero looks ready to take a 3rd base. He has sent a probe to that location. Does start the Nexus now. Double reactors going down now in Ghost King's base. He's adding actually additional Marine production here. And against Storm, yeah, it's going to be... well, hold that thought. He's actually targeting down these High Templar. Nice Archon Morph there to save it. And he does take out the Banshee. But the army does continue to move forward. Will he attack the natural, or will he go to the 3rd? The answer is the 3rd. This is going to be very difficult for Hero to engage. A Stim premature here, but he wants to engage to allow the siege tanks to get into siege mode. And all the units of Hero struggling to get up that ramp. A very narrow choke point, but Storm is ready. There are several Storms available. Enough medevacs to heal the Stimmed Marines now. +1 armor getting close to being done, as well as combat shields. Ghost King about to hit with 1-1 and combat shields here versus no upgrades. Only the Storm for Hero. Storm does not care about upgrades, but there are so many Marines out. In fact, 59 on the field right now. Stims a few Marines, targets the Nexus. He wants to siege up, bait the units in. He's done a little bit of damage here. Meanwhile, his 3rd base is being denied by Phoenixes. Byun slowly inching forward with his siege tanks here. Stims another small group of Marines forward to bait out some Storms. Targets down to High Templar against the Zealots as well. Hero charges in. Guardian Shield is up. The Storm is dodged, and Byun in a great position here. There's one more Storm, and he misses. He botches it. Another High Templar does join the mix with another Storm available. But Byun has baited so many Storms out, this base is not mining. Meanwhile, the Phoenixes have been chased away from the 3rd base of Byun. It is, in fact, mining right now. Byun taking a 50 supply lead, and he is not waiting. Taking out a few more Zealots to free. A scan indicates to him there are not a lot of units left. He sends again one small force of Marines forward to start inching away at that next hit points. He's sending a second force around to the natural, and Hero may find himself spread too thin. He will lose his Nexus at the third base, sending the most of his units to try to find and kill that group of reinforcements that he has spotted with his Phoenixes. And look at this, just carnage here. Hero 60 supply down in a terrible position. The only card he has in his hand are these High Templar, and he's got 4 of them. 4 of them with storms, some of them with 2 storms available. But that's all he has is 1 trump card. Moving his Immortals forward, trying to pick off these siege tanks. The Observer does spot for that. He gets none of the tanks, however. Stims trying to chase down a few force fields go. A storm hits several Marines, but he actually avoids it well enough to keep them alive. 2-2 is on the way for Ghost King, who's now up 70 supply in this game. 11 Marines, 2 siege tanks at a time being produced. 2 additional gateways coming down now for Hero. And here we go. Zealots charging in, the Marines being pulled back. They actually flank a little bit here. This is a small group of units for Byun. Storm's going down, and it looks like Byun may lose the entirety of this small force. This is not going to be a problem for him, however. In the end, yeah, he loses everything, but Hero struggles to get that third base up and is still 70 supply down with a crazy amount of production for Byun, continuing 11 Marines at a time, 2 tanks at a time. The switch, though, it has occurred. The switch to Colossi is imminent. He is producing his first Colossus right now, as well as continuing his 2-2 upgrades. Byun will have a timing where he has 2-2 against 1-1, but it's going to be a little while before that occurs. A small group of Marines do stem forward to target down these High Templar, but there's enough support. He cannot actually engage us. A few siege tanks sieging up on that rep. Hero has to be so careful. 8 Marines at a time now as he does continue the upgrades. +1 for siege tanks being produced now. Hero's third Nexus still not quite complete, but it's very close to being finished here. Now at this moment in time, Hero is behind in every way. He needs a miracle. That storm not quite miracle enough. It does ward Ghost King back just a little bit longer. He needs that third base, but even more so, he needs a fourth base. Hero on the ropes here. 70 supply down. Byun now with the 4th command center in production. Double drop going into the main base. He may be able to target down the forges and potentially the Templar archives. If Hero sends enough units back to defend this, his third base will be too exposed. He's sending everything home. The forge is targeted. The forge falls. The zealots will fall as well. Byun not moving with his second force, not attacking the third base location, purely microing his Marines. He will get the second forge when the upgrade finishes. Now the cannon being targeted down, does not attack the third base, does not use that timing that he unlocked. Now he is, however, now he is going in. There is 1 High Templar with Storm, a few more joining the mix now. Ghost King moving in with so many siege tanks. The storms are not going to be very effective against this type of composition. He runs through the storms. Archon's coming in now to try to help out. The Marines starting to damage the Nexus. There's so many more behind them. And Hero is not going to be able to hold on, I feel, for much longer. The upgrades 2-2 against 2-1. Upgrades in favor of Ghost King. He targets down the Immortals, the Colossus falls, and Hero is out of luck in Game 1 on Daybreak here. His Nexus will soon fall. He has very few units left. The High Templar trying to come in. GG! Ghost King takes Game 1. Very aggressive Marine tank play. Starting out with a 4 Hellion drop. Very aggressive opening. And Gerard comes in to congratulate him on his win. Well done, Byun. Hero showing a great game. Look at Byun holding his chest. His heart is beating so quickly. He knows there were very few moments in that game where Hero had the chance to beat him, but even so, there's a fear when there are that many High Templar. When you have Marines, your combat shields are not done for a really long time, and there is TLO going in to talk to Hero. As I said before, Hero very stressed about his matches, not very confident. He's been practicing like crazy these past few days, so TLO going to go in there and console him a little bit. I talked a lot with TLO about what it means to be a pro gamer, how much time it needs to be spent on relaxing as well as playing, making sure you get enough food, making sure you get enough sleep, and he's worried that Hero has not been balancing all of these things as well as one should to be a pro gamer recently. Well, things are just starting here at the GSL Code S, and right now we have our next map loaded up. It is in fact going to be on Cloud Kingdom. This has been a pretty intense first game. We're going to jump in the second game very soon though. Hero needs something here. He needs to bring this game back if he wants to have any chance of getting out of this group. I strongly feel if he loses to Byun, it's going to be hard for him to play against, for example, Curious, and a matchup he's feeling really uncomfortable with right now. Not going to be an easy thing to do. What sort of strategy, again, will we see from Byun, though? Last game we saw tank play, and he didn't do it the way that most people do the tank play, where they go up to 4 or 5 siege tanks, use them to defend, take a third base, and then go straight into Marine Marauder with bio upgrades. He actually used siege tanks and Marines purely, not a single Marauder, not a single Ghost. He's Ghost King, but he didn't use any Ghosts. He actually deterred the High Templar with siege tanks alone. That was his plan. We are going to jump into game number 2 between Hero and Byun right now on Cloud Kingdom. This is the GSL Code A, brought to you guys by GOMTV and Wolf.
I see red, but I'm not even stopping.